Welcome to Your Author Platform podcast with John Friedel. Do you find yourself investing a great deal of time and energy into writing your books, yet struggling to reach enough readers? I understand how you feel, and I'm here to help you change that. If you're looking to boost your momentum, connect with your audience like never before, and become more profitable in ways your fans appreciate, today's episode will confidently guide you forward. Hello, authors. It's wonderful to spend time with you for another podcast, another episode of the Your Author Platform podcast, which I host every few days to help you connect with your audience, boost your book sales, and ultimately enhance both your lives and theirs. I hope to positively impact your life today so you can better connect with your fans. In case you missed it, on my last episode, I went over what motivates authors to become entrepreneurs. I hope you enjoyed listening to my last episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Today's episode, number 10, discusses how to begin growing an audience from scratch. So one day you might vaguely remember what it was like to begin growing, but for now, you're just starting out. I remember vaguely what it was like when I started growing on my previous business, and it's only like 7 years ago, and it's still kind of like tough to remember sometimes. All this work that I'm doing on this channel to build it is helping me to remember those times, and there's some fond memories there. But you're determined to succeed, right? So you've created a business. You've created a business entity from your book. This is what I'm assuming. Well done. Now what? I assume that you've published a book and that you've established a website. The latter is necessary, and I explain how to do it elsewhere. But once the business is established, legally or through a mental commitment, your first step is attracting fans. Welcome to Entrepreneurship 101. A methodology exists for creating something from nothing. If you publish your book, its purchasers are fans. However, whether you're traditionally published or self-published, you can't access them. The publishing system is designed to prevent you from accessing them. You've sold that right, or given it away through a distribution network. Regardless of how you publish your book, your distributor retains the contact information of your book purchasers. Your fans' email addresses are a highly valuable business asset, and collecting those addresses independently is an essential business objective. If you self-publish, you can collect email addresses. Update your book with an additional statement at the end. It should read something like, "For more, visit my website at..." This will give you a start. If you've published traditionally, try to have your website featured on your author's page at the publisher, distributor, or any social media sites you've already set up. So your next step is to share quality and relevant content online. If you self-publish, your business typically owns the contents of your book, so you can use it as you like. However, if you published it traditionally, you would likely need to ask for permission to use any of its content due to copyright concerns. After all, you did sell the book. If you have traditionally published, check your contract or have your lawyer review it to see if you can legitimately use some or all of its content. Otherwise, discuss the possibility with your literary agent or publisher. If all of these efforts fail, your book will serve as inspiration for new content rather than posting some of its words online directly. Your book is a source of quality and relevant content, while directly drawn from it, whether directly drawn from it or inspired by it. Regardless, new content will emerge, potentially leading to your next book. Even a self-published book can generate fresh insights through fan interactions, possibly resulting in a significant revision or a completely new manuscript. Pick a topic discussed in your book and create a website article based on it, whether inspired or copied verbatim. How long should it be? I advocate short, quick 1,000-word articles with 4 to 5 sections. Now that you have a website article, you have a valuable asset for your business. Conclude each section of your article with an accompanying image. You can go to various free sites. Pixabay is one I like to get those images, a free stock image. This practice signals search engines that your article deserves a higher ranking instead of a lower one. Next, create a podcast episode based on the article. Begin with a standard introduction that includes a captivating hook. Read the article itself and conclude with a strong ending hook. I also explain how to create a podcast elsewhere. You can check in the descriptions for this podcast or video if you're watching the video for those links. You'll also want to create long form and short form videos. A single long form video is highly produced and only a few minutes long for the entire article. Multiple short form videos, 59 seconds or less in length, and based on each section of your article, are meant to be personable and casual. I will explain how to create both types of videos elsewhere. Similar to article writing, podcasting and video production are straightforward. In fact, you should be prepared to produce many of them, although it can become tedious quickly. Once the podcast and long form video are finished, incorporate them into your article. You may say something like, keep reading or listen instead, or keep reading and watch instead. With the end of section images, your article has now been transformed into a multimedia experience that search engines value and reward. Now, share the article, podcast, long-form video, and short-form videos on social media platforms. Which platforms? Essentially, all the popular ones. When you have many fans, not yet, but when you do, you can review your analytics or survey your fans to discover which social media platforms they prefer. Until then, maintain a presence on all platforms, all the major platforms. Later, you can decide to support certain communities fully. But don't get trapped into thinking your success depends on the number of followers you have on one social media site or another. That's very common for people to think that, and that's thinking about it wrong. The number of followers is a vanity metric. Your goal is to get email addresses from your audience voluntarily, because that is the business asset that matters. You can nurture your audience through emails with their voluntary email addresses. The forms these emails take are discussed elsewhere. I call them community nurture email cycles. It's a mouthful. I'm working on title names, marketing. It is sufficient to say here that 2 in 10 attempt to sell them something, a low-cost item that may originate from another source, and a high-cost item from you, one each. This series of 10 or 11 emails is called a community email cycle, right? I will provide a separate article on this topic elsewhere. However, before you can establish one, you'll need fans. So once you reach your goal of having fans, the number is your business decision, how many fans that you need to reach the goal. That's your call. And then many things start happening quickly. First, survey your fans to learn which social media sites they prefer, and then drop the other social media sites. You don't want to waste your valuable energy. Second, start your automated community email cycle. This series of emails sent over a few weeks will initially be quite simple. However, as podcast interviews and fan interactions occur, it will evolve further. Third, you'll start developing your product stack based on what you learn about your audience. This may begin with a simple 30-day course that you pre-sell to gauge interest. It could also include paid consultations for fans who want more faster. This is not the end of your business endeavor. It is merely the end of the beginning. Later, we'll discuss hiring. You'll want a video editor now that you understand how to brand your videos. In summary, one day you might vaguely remember what's going on right now, your early days now. Perhaps keeping a journal could help you capture these cherished moments. For now, though, you're just getting started. Remember to visit yourauthorplatform.com Remember to visit yourauthorplatform.com/subscribe to receive my free report revealing the top 3 essential tools for enhancing your connection with fans, including the one I've used as a nonfiction author and influencer. The next episode of and also, if you have a community example of great community, please send it to John at yourauthorplatform.com. I'm looking forward to that and finding more examples to share with you. The next episode of the Your Author Platform podcast will include another presentation on an essential topic for authors looking to connect with their fans and build a thriving community. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at john@yourauthorplatform.com, and I'll do my best to respond. If you have more than a few questions, consider booking a 1-hour one-on-one consultation at yourauthorplatform.com/consult. My calendar has limited openings, but some are still available. I look forward to working with you to answer all your questions. That's the end of another great episode of the Your Author Platform podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I plan to release the next episode very soon, and I have more amazing content for the show. Until then, connect with fans and build your community. Bye.